Nong Tapet is about 25 kilometres south of Utong on the road towards Kanchanaburi, just a kilometre or so off the side of the road. And material was found there in the 1970s when the school master arranged to extend the area of the village school, and the children actually found some buried material there. He notified the Fine Arts Department, and archaeological work started in 1975, led by the Fine Arts Department. In this little book written a year or so ago by Anna Bennett, about the gold of ancient Utong and the history of Utong. There are some very fine photographs of materials from our excavations here. It's a book you should all have. If you haven't seen it, you should buy a copy of it. It's on sale quite recently. I pass it over to Anne. Can I just say one word here? I'd like to thank really in honour of the memory of the headmaster of the local school here at the time. His name had been down recorded, I can't quite remember at the moment, but he made us very welcome. He and the school teachers here were extraordinarily helpful and supportive of our work, and also that they recognised the importance of the site early on and so reported it to the Fine Arts Department to organise the first excavation. So I always remember the hospitality given to us by the school teachers here. So the trenches flooded, and they were water. One student was telling me they were up to their ankles in water trying to record and find objects. It was a big problem. So when we excavated here, we covered the trenches over. We built roofs over the whole place before we excavated to protect the site. Then they said, oh, it's located by a nail in a tree. That's how you find the site. It is a nail in a tree. Well, there were more trees around, but I think it was that big tree down there. These are all new ones. But there are also many nails in the tree there. So we had a job to find. We got the local people said, oh, we think it was about here. So we, in fact, opened the trench and we found the edges of the earlier trenches. And then we could overlap. And if you look at the plan on the wall, you can see there are overlapping areas of excavation. But it was only by, that's a bit of luck and guesswork. Later, to mark where we excavated exactly, we buried remains of iron steel scaffolding poles, steel poles, in the ground just below the surface, so that someone with a fine metal detector could find exactly where we excavated. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
When I'm back in England, I will show this to my family, because my wife also worked here for a while, and my two children, aged about 5 and 7 years old, helped to excavate at the pit in 1982, I think 83 or 84, 85. So that they will be, unfortunately there's no pictures of them in the excavation, but I have one of them, and it will remind them of what was for them a very happy time, coming to Thailand, sleeping in the village, coming to work here and enjoying their life in Thailand. And let me also just say that the bulk of the objects from the excavations are in, the better pieces are in the National Museum in Bangkok, and you've seen some of them. Also a lot of material in the Bangkok Provincial Museum. Other material is stored by the Fine Arts Department archives, I think in a depository at Nonthaburi, but I heard that there was a disaster there of a flood. Some materials have stayed in London, where there's still some research being done on the technology and materials, but most of it is back in Thailand.